Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Opinion or Opportunity. I am your host, Don Gringo, and we have some, breaking news today. There always seems to be breaking news these days. But today we're going to talk about the stimulus package, Joe Biden, and this is the big one, Joe Biden possibly under federal investigation for his role in Spygate and the Ukraine. I'll show you that there's some sources actually breaking this as of today. Definitely got to talk about that. That's the big one. And some funny stuff about the NBA. So here's your alarm. This is your chance to walk away. Thank you so much to everybody who's been showing the channel so much love. We appreciate it. By the way, I would appreciate some comments. By all means, comment below. I always get back to comments. It'd be nice to have some additional comments, get this community talking. And also share the videos, share if you like what I'm doing. And of course, follow. I always want you to follow. I want you to be part of this. This is not just a me experience. At least it shouldn't be. So let's get into it, okay? So thank you so much, and let's move on. All right. So Vice President Biden turned around, and yesterday, of course, this is showing today, but yesterday turned around and said that he wouldn't want to debate Donald Trump if he's still infected with COVID, right? So that was the whole thing yesterday, was he may not go to the debate. And that was the big news. But it's funny because then later that day, reports Trump new documents show Hillary ordered plan to stir up scandal linking Trump and Russia. So basically, Donald Trump redacted or got declassified as much information as possible. And here we are. We're looking at the fallout for it. And the fallout seems to be pretty big if this is right. So I want you to understand, this is not everybody. Everyone's not reporting this, but we will get into this, okay? So the breaking news right here is earlier today, Joe Biden is subject of a federal criminal investigation into his role into Spygate and activities into the Ukraine. That is as of today. This is just one source, and I will pull up the Google search to show you there's multiple sources starting to report this. And this article basically sits here and says that Joe Biden is now subject of an active federal criminal investigation into his role into the CI probe directed at Trump's 2016 campaign. Recall Joe Biden was in the January 5th, 2017 secret Oval Office meeting discussing General Flynn's phone calls with Russian ambassador. I'm gonna totally destroy this name, but I'm gonna try. Ambassador Kislyak with Obama, Yates, Comey, Rice, and Brennan. And 7 days later, he sought to unmask Flynn. Now, if you remember, Trump actually called him out on stage about this, right? So let's have that serious conversation. He called him out. He said, "You're the one that unmasked General Flynn," right? And now General Flynn has already been shown that he was put under extraordinary pressure, because if he didn't do this, they were going after his son, which is just horrible, right? So you can't get what you want. Let's go after his family. But what do you expect from a 47-year politician? That's what this guy is. For almost 5 decades, he's playing the game. They all playing the game, and that's what it is. So it says, then Vice President Joe Biden sought to unmask General Flynn on January 12, 2017, the same day David Ignatius published his WAPO article about Flynn's communication with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, right? So basically, Joe Biden, Trump's going after him now. More and more information is coming to light. And, obviously, I honestly believe it's a political ploy. Trump is doing what he's doing. This is going to smear Biden. This is going to hurt him. But the difference here is this, okay? And we're going to get into this in a second. But let me just show you. Let me refresh this. This right here, again, if you look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Seven people as of right now, and there was only 4 not that long ago. 4, but when you look at this through this, you're not seeing any of the mainstream media really involved in this, which is really what's come to light. I don't know. I think they're waiting to to really post, anything about this or, write something about this because they have to be careful. And I get that. But it's just amazing how this story is picking up steam. And we're talking in the matter of hours picking up steam. If this is correct, Biden's done. If he's not done, then people are just fooling themselves. This guy spied on an American citizen. So let's get into it. So this all comes down to former CIA director, John Brennan's notes, right? Now, you can find John Brennan on Google, and he'll point it out. He ran the agency from 2013 to 2017. He was the man, right? So now all of a sudden his notes come out, and of course Brennan tries to spin it. So Obama official claims nothing at all illegal. He says he was blind to the situation, right? So this is one way that John Brennan's trying to spin it. So John Brennan weighed in Wednesday on his recently released documents from the DOJ that showed Hillary Clinton likely launched a plan to convince the public that Trump was working with Russia in the 2016 election. His quote is, quote, "There is nothing at all illegal. I was blind to whether it referred to one party or the other." You're the director of the CIA, briefing the president that there's somebody involved in this, and you're saying you were blind to it? Now, mind you, his notes have been released, so this is just one way he's spinning it. Now, finish the quote, "I was blind to whether it referred to one party or the other." Continue quote, but he says, "These were my notes." And he added another quote, "I was just giving examples of the type of access we had to Russian information." So they had an idea. So he's trying to spin it. So these are his notes. He doesn't deny it. This meeting happened. Everyone's there. No one denies it, right? And now all of a sudden his notes come like he's the CIA director. He's trying to spin it just like Comey did. But now here's John Brennan trying to spin it another way. So Brennan blasts DNI Ratcliffe for declassifying Clinton and Russian notes. What did you think was going to happen? Republicans weren't going to let this go away. They weren't going to let this go away. This is absolutely asinine. So it says in this article, and this was the Washington Times as of today. Okay, John Brennan, the former director of the CIA, accused President Trump's director of national intelligence on Wednesday of selectively declassifying information to advance political interests. Well, no shit, because that's the same thing Hillary Clinton tried to do, right? She gave disinformation to benefit her. The only difference is Trump might be right here. So, quote, "Just the way Donald Trump has abused the responsibilities and authorities of the office of the presidency, John Ratcliffe has now followed in the footsteps and has totally abused those responsibilities and authorities of the Office of Director of National Intelligence." Brennan, who led the CIA under former President Barack Obama, was reacting to the ODNI releasing of some of his handwritten notes during the 2016 election. The largely redacted notes released Tuesday related to a July 16th briefing in which Mr. Brennan told Mr. Obama about Russia and its interests in the race between Mr. Trump and Hillary Clinton. Brennan said he told Mr. Obama that the CIA gleaned intelligence suggesting the Russians thought Mrs. Clinton may have approved a plan to stir up a scandal by connecting Mr. Trump to Russia. So the guy knew, but he gleaned, and I get it. You gotta call it what it is. So I'm gonna call it. That's what that is. That's what that is. A whole bunch of it. Okay, you're the CIA director. You sat there in that meeting. Now the previous article, again, Biden was in that meeting. If Biden's in that meeting and this is true, and he's not denying that these are his notes, he's just saying they're redacting just enough to spin it their way, but he's not denying the information. This is a problem. This goes back to that Biden is willing to spy on American citizens. That is a problem. But we'll continue with the article. But he said that Mr. Ratcliffe, a former Republican congressman, revealed details about the briefing in a way that falsely gives the impression that Mrs. Clinton might have done something illegal. Okay, so Trump associating with Russia gets him impeached. Impeachment fails, but gets him impeached. Clinton causing the problem, nothing? Am I doing this wrong? Really? This is absolutely asinine. But that's the major stuff today. That is the major. So how does the media portray these things? Well, you know, my good friends at CNN. Oh my God. You know, again, tabloid. Here we go. Listen to it.
I think that people talk about the silent majority, you don't see the lawn signs or whatever. I think that people feel that they don't have to put up lawn signs and do all those things because the lawn sign is Trump out every day giving misinformation.
I just showed you that Hillary Clinton gave misinformation, but you don't hear them talking about it, right? You won't hear them talking about it, but let's continue.
And when someone after someone annoys you for a while, you have to track risk. Many of them on state television, like I do. What's the best way to?
Who the heck is against CNN other than Fox News? What major outlet other than maybe some podcasts are really calling out Chris Cuomo and Lemon? Seriously, none. But this is their answer. Ready?
To handle it. You just ignore it.
Naked choke?
No, just sternum.
Naked choke, punch to the sternum. I need you to tell me that this is okay. I need you to tell me that this is okay. So when they sit there and say that liberals aren't endorsing violence, aren't inciting violence, you have mainstream media, a guy like Chris Cuomo who has his own scandals, including the media is not your friend, the media is lying to you, the media is bad, and he's coming out and endorsing violence. This is what is happening today. This is not okay. You can't make this okay. You can't make this okay. But let's continue because you know what? I got to get into some funny stuff. I mean, I told you it was going to happen. So everyone knows yesterday that, you know, Mavericks owner, what's his name? I'm having a brain fart. And of course, you have this Texas senator got into a Twitter feud over ratings and, you know, it went very bad. Well, as of today, NBA caves to the fans. So now all of a sudden, boss says next season will abandon social justice messaging and return to normalcy. Senator was right. Most of the country was right because it's caving to the fans, right? You keep politics off the court. And you know what? The tweet that he says, go woke, go broke. I guess he was right because here it is. They're changing. So those messages will largely be left to be delivered off the floor. This just may save basketball. They had the lowest ratings of any NBA finals. They had under like 5 million people watching. That is incredible. But I called that a long time ago. You can watch previous shows. You can hear me call them out on this. Sports is going to have to turn it around. These players, they don't live in a real world. And a lot of us, whether we're right or left, no, right or wrong, whatever our ideas are, there was always in that area that was a sports team loved by all, or for the most part, by all. And you came together, not over politics, but you came together for the love of the sport and the love of the team. And by what they did, by bringing politics into the game, really took away from the game. You want to talk about driving wedges between people. This was something that these players did that brought people together. Didn't matter about sex or age or what ethnicity you were, what color you were, what, where you came from money-wise. It didn't matter. And then the players ruined it. They could have just played the game and said, you know what? Keep politics out of our love of the sport that we do for a life, for a living. Nope. But now they have to. So I hope I see a lot of them go away. We'll see what happens. All right, moving on. So right now there's a big thing over the stimulus, right? Big thing over the stimulus. So this is the New York Daily News, right? And this is as of, obviously, today. About 5:02 p.m. actually, yeah. So not that long ago. So Cuomo says no budget moves before election as stimulus talks stall in Washington. So Trump walked away. But Trump's walked away plenty of times on stimulus. And it's just because Nancy Pelosi keeps adding ridiculous amounts of money to it. Now, I will say this. Trump has in the past called it out plenty of times that if they bring something that they all can agree on to the table, he'll sign it. Trump, out of all the Republicans, is probably the one that would agree to the bigger money amount, right? I don't see him saying, no, let's not bring in this money. Let's not do this. I think part of the problem here is the Senate GOP. They want a more targeted bill. And of course, Trump has to appease all sides, right? But he can't come out and say, yeah, I agree with Nancy. But when has Trump ever turned down money? I don't know. I can't tell you when. So here it is. Trump backs airlines, right?
The big news yesterday was President Trump's call to put off stimulus negotiations until after the election. Now he's calling for a reallocation of money from the CARES Act, which was the previous aid package.
So basically, Trump is going to find a way to do this, whether he's got to take it from the previous stimulus package or they give him a new one. That's the one thing Trump's always done, even with his border wall. If you're not going to give him what he wants, he'll get it some ways or what not have you. You may not like it. You may try to take him to court. But you know what? Once the money's out and in the people's hands, I'd like to see you try to get it back. I'd like to see you try to get it back without pissing off the American public. That's what I want to see happen, right? So, of course, she wants to criticize Trump. She says Trump, changed his mind as of today, going back to the negotiation table, rebounding from a terrible mistake. The guy's made the mistake his whole presidency, right? And you're calling it a mistake. Honestly, I wouldn't want to negotiate with you if you just want to do whatever you want to do. I wouldn't do it either. Because all she wants is extra money to bail out states pensions, states this, states that, for all of mismanagement. At some point, I gotta be honest. I live in one state. I don't think I need to bail out Nancy Pelosi. She has $100 million. She lives in California. If California needs a bailout, California should pay for the bailout. That's the truth. Bottom line. Why is everyone No, I should be getting a lot of money, so I should be entitled just like everybody else. But I don't. I don't go begging for money. I haven't taken one stimulus check. Okay, I still work hard. I still do what I got to do. And I know some people can't and they need the money. I get it. And I'm not abusing the system in taking the money. But I am so tired of hearing that I've got to pay for other people all the time. And it's usually a Democrat saying, give me your money. Just like Joe Biden saying, I'm going to increase taxes. Okay? Give me your money. Why don't you do better with what you have? How about we start there? When have we ever got it? I got to be honest. President Clinton probably had the best when it comes to running the government. I get it. Clinton was very good, and we were in a better situation budget-wise and debt-wise. I get it. And I'm not on a Trump train. I can see where some things are better than others. Totally get it. Respect it. But this woman is absolutely batshit crazy. She is. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up today. We got a lot going on tonight. Tonight is the vice presidential debate. I am actually looking forward to it. I'm hoping that this is something better than what we got the first round. I really want to see how Kamala is going to handle this because, from what I remember, Pence is very cool, calm, and collective. He's not a guy who's going to come out swinging like Trump, but I know he doesn't have the garbage background that Kamala has. And I want to see if he calls her out for the Eddie Brown thing. I want to see this. You got to where you're at because you slept your way to the top. Everyone knows it. It's a fact. It's out there. I want to see him call her out. I don't think he will because he's kind of a nice guy in that aspect, but he should, because she's all about feminism. So feminism is about being independent and whatnot have you. So it's okay to independently screw your way to the top, I guess. But that was a different time because she's older than I am, right? So it's okay. It's never okay. So this brings in the character. Never mind her trying to keep innocent people on death row and in prison. Never mind her trying to keep people in prison longer to use them for cheap labor. This woman is horrible. And this is the person who could technically end up running the country because Biden is that old. Something happens to him, and it's a possibility within the first term. And understand this. This usually the vice president debate isn't the big thing, but understand this. Both presidential candidates are old. Okay, old. We're not talking 50s, we're not talking 60s, we're talking 70 plus, and there is a bigger chance that one of these two could become the next sitting president or acting president or whatever way you want to talk about it, okay? Because everyone's going to fight over this if something happens. But at the end of the day, this debate is probably more important than a lot of previous debates because of this situation. So I hope you turn around, you watch it. I would love to get your feedback on the debate. I'm going to obviously give my feedback tomorrow on the debate. And until then, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.